Hey, everybody. Welcome to the first episode ever of SoapBox Radio.
The maiden voyage.
This is the first one, you guys. My name is Adrian.
I'm Cole.
And this is Cole. And we're just so excited to be having this conversation and just bringing some joy in your life. This episode, we want to focus in on what is joy. How do you find joy? How do you cultivate joy? And just something
what is joy?
Yeah, what is joy?
All the important questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so I was going to ask Cole, what have you been up to? We want to start out these episodes with a connecting point. So what's up?
Well, not a lot, actually. Trying to think of when you asked me that, I was like, what am I doing? But I will say I have been watching a lot of Alias, the TV show lately.
Okay.
I don't know if you know, 2000s TV show, Jennifer Gardner. Super cheesy, but it is really good.
Okay.
Some friends and I have been getting it together. My roommate was a big fan of Alias, and our friend was a big fan of Alias growing up. So we decided to go through the whole series.
Nice.
And, How many? It's been a blast.
It has like a ton of seasons, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I think it's 6 seasons, 5 seasons.
Okay. So not that much.
It's not too
like
many.
The Office or something.
No. It's not that. But it is. Every season is 22 episodes, and every episode is at least 45 minutes long. So it's a lot of TV.
That's a lot of TV.
Yeah. And I love it. I'm not going to lie.
That's really fun.
I thought I was going to be like, cheesy, but it is so good.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, I've never wanted to be a spy more. For the wigs, the wigs that they get to wear.
Got it, yeah.
And the get-ups and the leather jackets.
Yeah. I think you would make a good spy.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But you know what? I can't be a spy because my ankles both pop.
Oh, yeah.
So everyone would know I was coming.
Yeah, if you were sneaking somewhere.
I can't do it.
Who's making popcorn? And then, there he is.
Instantly set off every alarm. 2 steps in. Snap.
Yeah. That's the worst.
So I had to give up on that dream. So I live through Sydney Bristow and Alias now. But that's what I'm up to. Yeah. What are you up to these days?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I've been really enjoying getting out with my kids. You know, we live in some pretty unusual times, but my wife and I are just trying our best to get out and enjoy the sun a little bit.
What's the very little sun we've been getting lately.
Yeah, exactly. Here in Portland, that's where we're at right now. And Portland is having some unusual weather. Yeah, the last few weeks. Yeah. But one thing I never thought I would miss. I never thought I would miss this, but I miss public restrooms because when you have kids. No, I'm serious. When you have kids, like there's somebody preach to me. Let's tell me in the comments, like how much do you guys miss, you parents out there? How much do you miss public restrooms? I have a portable potty I keep in my van for the kids. What? Because otherwise, what are they going to do?
I guess you're right. What does that look like?
Exactly. I don't know. It's like, what does it look like? It's like this little baby potty. And then you just let your kids make some room in the van or something like that. I mean, you got to do it.
No, otherwise, it makes sense.
Otherwise, you get out for about 30 minutes and you head right home.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we do road trips a lot, so it's not like a foreign thing for us. We do lots of road trips.
That's true.
And you just make it work, man.
That makes sense. I never would have thought that was what you missed.
Yeah, of all the things.
I've never heard anyone in my life be like, man, public restrooms.
Yeah, please bring them back.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So this episode, we are talking about joy. What is joy? How do you find joy? What are things that give you joy? We also want to talk a little bit about how to cultivate joy in your life. We live in really strange and different times. I was just mentioning an article that I read from the Washington Post saying that levels of depression are increasing, and how people just are missing the normalcy that they had in life. And that's just bringing on a lot of those depressive thoughts and stuff like that. So we just thought it'd be great to just open up a conversation. You might have seen on our Instagram and Facebook that we want to invite you guys into conversation. So we're going to be posting some questions on there, and feel free to chime in, even in the comments below, or shoot us an email, something like that. You can find us at sbxradio.com or on our social media at SBX Radio. And we'd love to connect with you there. So we're just having a conversation about joy, man.
That's it. What is joy, I guess? It's kind of one of those weird things. We talk about happiness versus joy versus, I don't know, feeling good.
Yeah.
What kind of what distinguishes joy from maybe something else in your mind?
Yeah. For me, I think joy is kind of rooted in a greater purpose. It's like happiness rooted in a greater purpose. I can just think of the times when my wife and I drove to the hospital to welcome one of our kiddos. It's rough, it's concerning, and all those things. But in the end, you have this new life, and it's like there's nothing like it. Like that's pure for me. That was just like a moment of pure joy. Having my son in my hands or my daughters. Yeah. And it's just that, like I said, it's happiness. It's rooted in a longer perspective. Like just thinking about now I have this thing to live for. That's a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
What about you?
No, I was going to say that's a good answer. I think I like that idea of it being tied to something greater, something bigger, something more withstanding than say happiness, where in this moment I'm very happy. Like I think happiness is a more short term, maybe, I don't know how to word it, but kind of moment by moment. I'm happy in this moment, where joy is kind of an undercurrent of satisfaction in your purpose and reason in life and being a part of something bigger that stays with you longer, maybe. And also I feel like when I say joy, there's a deeper sense there. Happiness is kind of more fleeting. Like I said, it feels fun, it's nice, but joy is something that is more, I don't know, more part of your core being. Yeah,
exactly. So
I don't know what that means.
Let's bring that home a little bit. Like, what brings you joy? Like what things in life bring you joy?
Right. I mean, memes, for one. I have to say it. Memes, what a great piece of joy. Being a part of the internet community is a very scary, sometimes weird place to be. But man, is it fun. There's a lot of really good stuff, really fun stuff that I enjoy.
If the person who invented the internet could look down the corridor of time and just see the amount of jokes that would be made,
how do you think they would feel? Do you think they'd be happy? Do you think
they
they'd be
might have
horrified?
just shut it down? But memes. What other things?
Thanks for the internet, Al Gore. We appreciate it for the memes. We really love that. But no. I mean, on a more serious note, memes are great. Love that. That's a good happy place, I think, to be. But things that really bring me joy, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Yeah, I'm just gonna spitball on this. Huh?
I'm just. I don't know how much this has affected you, but I do know that you have been a soccer player.
Oh, that is so true.
And I know some of the most joyful times I've seen you is like when you just came back from a game, or you're talking about being the golden boot over here.
I mean, the stats speak for themselves. I can't help it if I score a lot of goals.
Crushing those rec leagues.
Well, right? Yeah. But those 45-year-old men and women don't know what's coming when I step on the field. It's a very big deal for me. But no, I love that, actually. Yeah. That's something I experienced in college for the first time. Not sports in general. I've always played sports, which has been a huge joy. But kind of coming back to what you were saying, when I would go to college football games or basketball games or you name it, this sense that you're a part of something bigger, you're with thousands of other people, and you're a symbol and representation of your university and of an extension that represent that university is who you are in that moment. And so just being with thousands of people cheering on your team or getting upset or being elated.
Sure. I think I just think about how as a musician, you kind of like the most joyful moments I've had as a musician were when I'm a part of a bigger thing. What I mean? I'm with the band and we're all in sync and we're just playing and like enjoying those moments. That kind of it's funny that kind of like bigger picture. Of that. It's really cool.
Yeah. So those are kind of like some individual moments of joy or like very specific settings, right?
Yeah.
But what about joy in the everyday? The joy when this week all you're doing is getting up, going to work, coming home, for you taking care of your family, taking care of chores, whatever it is, and then going to bed. How do you how do you find joy there? Like what does joy look like in a daily situation then?
Sure, yeah.
When you're not able to worship or not able to go to a WSU game.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I think for me, it's finding joy in those moments is just looking for the quiet times to reflect. I think that's when I can actually say, that's when I can truly say, like, I am joyful right now. You know, when I take a moment and think about what I did for the day, or what I want to do tomorrow. Maybe what's coming up next week, things like that, might be just a way for you to connect to a bigger picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, that same thing, finding joy and having that rooted in some sort of a bigger picture is really helpful. Because, when I'm teaching my son how to play piano, it's frustrating sometimes, or it's difficult. But when him and I are we've been playing through Ocarina of Time. Shout out anyone who's a N64 Zelda fan. Come on now.
Absolutely.
So we've been playing through. My son has this wonderful ear for music, and we've been playing through on the piano these Ocarina of Time songs, and he listening through it, and he'll be practicing. Oh, and he also loves to play Wii Sports. Like the Wii Sports music, you wouldn't even think twice about it, but he is like, it wraps his mind in this thing, and he loves it.
I love the Wii music.
Yeah,
everything that the Wii music, Wii Shop Channel, Wii Menu, Wii Sports, Wii Resort.
Me Channel, dude. The Me Channel song.
Talk about just a masterpiece.
Yes.
Throw that in as you go to sleep.
Yes.
Sweet dreams.
Yes.
It's so good. They got it right.
Yeah. So in the middle of teaching my son how to play, with his scales or scale patterns. I mean, he's not having that much fun. Sometimes he does. And I'm not necessarily having that much fun either. But when we're able to kind of do that together in a way, just reflecting on the day, when at night, when I'm about to go to sleep and I'm reflecting on the day, all I can think about is how my family is well, my wife is well, my kids are well. Life is hard and circumstances are unusual, but I mean, life is good, That's cool. Really helpful.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the same way of what I do. And I think I talked about this with you before, but something that's always helped me plug into joy on a daily basis. Work is tough, and you're going home and there's nothing to do, or you just got chores waiting for you at home, or responsibilities, you got to pay this bill and go, and it just kind of starts to bog down. And this is going to sound weird at first, but stick with me, is I constantly kind of come back to this phrase in my head that nothing matters.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, which sounds terrible. but it's more of a hyperbole to kind of get my mindset in the right area. But I think of it like this. Nothing really, really matters in this world except for a few things. There's some really core elements to life that are absolutely necessary and are absolutely meaningful in the greater spectrum of humanity, your time on earth, all of human history, and for us in our faith. But when I remember that, when I'm driving home and I'm like, I got to pay this bill, and I'm never going to get to go on this vacation, and I'm never going to get this job, or I don't know, buy these things or whatever. I'm just like, none of it matters. But then I start to remember what does matter, and I start to think about those things like, I've got great friends. I've got an amazing family. I've got my health. I've got a place to live. I've got great music to listen to. I've got Zelda games to play. Like kind of all these things that begin to flood my life once I kind of realize I've been caught up in all these things that don't necessarily matter when it comes to life and true life in general. So
yeah, that's great. I like that.
I know.
I like that you explained it.
Because I had to. I don't
talk about a controversial moment here.
You're probably going to hear me say it more often than not. Nothing matters, but know that things do matter, and I do think a lot of things matter. But it's a good way to reset my brain.
Yeah.
And so
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's my motto. So talking about joy and ways that we find joy. Now, there's the idea of kind of cultivating and creating it for yourself. Because sometimes you really have to be proactive about it.
Yeah.
If you're like me,
it's true. Yeah.
Most days you're like, oh, I got to find joy somewhere because this is not, this was not a great day.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so looking to actively create that, sustain that, and cultivate that in your life. You talked about things that you do, like sitting down with your son and reflecting.
Yeah.
But what are some other ways that you do that on a daily basis?
Sure. Yeah. That's a good question. I think the first thing that comes to mind is really being aware of yourself. We all change. Nobody is the same person years later. The person I was when I was 18 is not the person I am now. Physically.
That's right. You had hair then.
I had hair back then. Huge hair. Anyone who wants to spy on me on the internet, you can find pictures of me with big, it was amazing. But now it's gone.
Now look at you.
So just being aware of yourself, times change, people change, you change. And I think that it's just a matter of kind of reflecting how do I cultivate joy? It's a matter of saying, what brings me joy? I've had some friends, just even recently, who have found just a deeper level of joy in cooking, or these things that they never really thought that they would actually want to follow a recipe or dig into these different culinary kind of areas, but they're finding joy. And they're learning to cultivate joy by just being aware of themselves and saying, "Hey, what does bring me joy?" and stuff like that. I think for me, that's kind of the first thing, is being aware of yourself.
Yeah.
Because that's the way. Because that's the way to cultivate joy in your life is to really be reflecting and being in a place where you can to kind of find. Avenues of expression. I guess that's what I'm trying to say too. Yeah. If you enjoy hiking, well, maybe you should do that more. It sounds really basic, but if you really enjoy hiking, find a trail, or maybe for those of you, and I'm talking to the parents here a little bit and talking to myself. For you, those of you who have kids, life gets difficult, and you might have to think back to say, what is something that brought me joy, before I had kids, and that
and
sort
they
of thing.
Ruined it all.
But you can find ways. I'm thinking of hiking specifically, but you can find ways, find trails that have those that are able to use your stroller and things like that, or that are kid friendly and stuff, and bring your family along to those sorts of things that are really healthy.
And don't forget your portable kid potty.
Yes, please don't.
Because that's going to suck the joy right out of it.
Exactly.
When your kids got to go and no public restrooms are open.
That's true, yeah.
Preparing is a good thing.
Yeah.
But it makes me think of that age-old quote by the Oracle from The Matrix.
Yeah.
Know thyself. I don't think she was the first one to say it, but that's the only person I know that said it.
Yeah.
I'm not well-read or smart or anything. Most of my wisdom comes from the Matrix trilogies. But again, just kind of knowing yourself and knowing, hey, I had a really hard week. I need to do something that's going to bring some joy, connect me to those things in joy.
Exactly.
Or I know, I'm starting to feel myself kind of go into a dark place, or I'm noticing I haven't been happy or joyful in a while. Stop what you're doing. Stop distance yourself from all of your things that you have going in life for a moment, and pick up something new, start something new, or plug back into things that you love.
Recently, this is going to be really goofy, and I've never talked to you about this. So good. This is let
me hear
this is fresh meat. But back in the days, if you can imagine the GameCube back in the days, I'm dating myself.
I can imagine it vividly.
There was a game that came out called Animal Crossing.
Oh, no.
That was fantastic. And the whole game was just you basically fishing and catching bugs. And it was amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Here we are many, many years later. And my mother, shout out to my mom out there if she's watching this. I know she is, and she loves me. She is the most avid Animal Crossing player I've ever known in my life.
Really?
Her island is fantastic. And she just keeps improving, and she does all these things. Well, she loves this game so much that she bought me a Nintendo Switch. She said, this is coming out.
Didn't tell
she
me.
bought me a limited... I know, I didn't. She bought me a limited edition Nintendo Switch for Animal Crossing New Horizons. And she, like, just said, hey, I want you to play with me because they have online play and stuff.
Yeah, you can, like, go to each other's islands and stuff.
So she bought me this Switch, and I've just been enjoying it. Just getting back into, like, fishing and catching bugs. I know, I haven't talked about
all the
this.
important things in life.
But, like, yeah, just, like, having a place for me to, while I'm putting the kids to bed, just have a few moments for myself, and have my mom over to my island, my sister, and everyone in my family. It's crazy, man. We have, like, 6 people joining our island. It's just constantly just people flowing in. And they have these amazing islands. Mine is, like, embarrassing, but
Gilligan's Island,
I'm working on it, you know. I have 30 minutes to play between putting my kids to bed and doing the next project, so it's been a lot of fun.
This is going to be one of those things where your wife wakes up at 2 a.m. and you're like under the covers playing and you're going to have to fake being asleep again like you were a kid.
Yes.
Adrian.
She has...
Just turn it off.
She has done that to me. Like, what time is it? And I was like... it's a little after 1 o'clock. You know, I'm like trying to like play it off, but it's later than 1. Sorry, honey. But it's a blast. And so my point in saying all that is try something new. I didn't think, and couldn't remember how much joy I got from that. But I was willing to say, you know what, this is a little different. I haven't played video games in 5 years since I've had my son, you know, but just to jump in again and say, hey, this is something that I can do. That actually is kind of joyful bringing. So try something new. You never know what might really spark something for you.
That's true. I tried. Well, yeah, I don't know what you call it, trying. I built some shelves with a friend recently.
Nice.
And I have no woodworking skills. I have no knowledge of building or anything. Obviously, I can't even figure out words to say. Like that's how bad I am at it. But it was something that I wanted to do, and it was new, and we had the time, and we needed shelves at our apartment, and it was so fun. I had such a blast doing it, learning something new, trying something new for the first time. And I will say I had to be very humble to do it, because as a 31-year-old male, I felt like I should have some skills under my belt, even just like screwing in screws or gluing things with wood glue. I don't know. And of course I can do those, but just coming humbly to the table and being like, all right, I don't know what I'm doing, but I want to try this out. And it was so fun. I had a great time. And the shelves look amazing.
Nice.
I don't want to take credit for that, but it was mostly me. And
well, that's a good point, because I mean, there's another point of reflection. You're doing something new, you're accomplishing it, and then you're reflecting on that to say, hey, that shelf is standing in part because you helped build it, because you put that effort and that time to do it. I know, right?
And it's true. I mean, I'm very proud of myself most of the time, but I'm extra proud of myself about these shelves.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
But like you said, just doing something new and accomplishing something. And like, I think the humility part was a big piece for me, because if I came to that endeavor and trying to like act like I knew it or wanting to be cool, I would have been miserable, because I would have been so self-conscious the whole time. I would have just been thinking, I can't do this. Am I doing this right? Do I look cool doing it? Am I wearing the right outfit to do woodworking on shelves? Who thinks of that stuff? I do, but I had to really set it aside, and that's when I was able to have fun with it.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah,
that's pretty
I love
cool.
that. So any other ways you could think of and how to cultivate joy?
Cultivating joy, man. I think we talked a lot about things, but I think starting with knowing yourself and what really does bring joy, what you can kind of reflect and say, what am I connected to that's something bigger than myself, that's a sustaining joy, not just a momentary happiness? Because I'm not going to lie, Instagram makes me happy. Scrolling through memes or whatever on Instagram, but that as soon as I'm off the phone, it's back to what I was feeling before. But kind of plugging into these other things that just provide a bigger sense of connectedness to something bigger, greater than you, something more purposeful, something even maybe a bit more productive.
Yeah.
I think that don't get me started on the big corporate wheel of needing to always be productive and improving and moving forward. I think that's not always a good thing, but time to time, taking time with yourself to do something that is good for yourself or feels productive or feels purposeful.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's I don't know. I think we nailed it. I'm not going to lie.
We nailed it, guys.
So
there you go.
You're welcome. If anybody needs joy, this is the one-stop shop.
This is it. Watch this video and
you'll never not be joyful again. I guaranteed. And now it's time for Friends of the Show.
Friends of the Show, guys. So this is the part of the show. That's exactly the theme song for it. Friends of the Show, we want to really ask you guys questions. We wanted to hear from you, and we got some great responses. This is our first episode.
Yeah, thank you,
and
guys.
we're already cultivating community together. So
honestly,
high fives there.
It's
pretty slick.
Yeah, this is the most friend interaction I've had in months. Is from strangers on the internet. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. So we put the question out there. We had two questions. Yeah. One question was, what brings you joy? The second question was, how do you cultivate joy in your life? We're going to review a few responses from folks from Instagram and also from Facebook, which are ways that you can connect with us. So please follow us at SBX Radio.
If we haven't asked you enough,
I will ask you again and again. So our first friend of the show is Hannah, who lives in Washington. Hannah is a good friend to the show.
Yes, we love Hannah.
We used to work with Hannah. She's amazing. She's phenomenal. Amazing photographer. Yes. We'll maybe share some of her stuff if she gives us permission later, but like just a link to her website or something, because she's phenomenal. Hannah in Washington, she's great. Hannah in Washington says that listening to her son Shepherd's belly laugh gives her joy.
Oh, man.
Yeah, baby laughs.
Baby belly laughs
are like the best.
It's the cure to depression.
I know, it really is. You know, my kids have never been laughers.
Really?
Like at all.
You laugh at everything.
Yes, I do. And my kids are so serious. You've seen my daughter will mad serious. Dog you like for days. Anyway,
yes. So the littlest one especially.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My son was the same way. I think my middle daughter was a little bit better, but for the most part, my kids are really serious kids. I mean, then they loosen up later on. But yeah, kid belly laughs are just amazing. I don't get enough of those, but I wish I did.
Man, my niece, if you show her any funny cat videos, just pushes her over the edge, and she just cannot stop.
I love it.
Oh, it's so fun.
That's so great.
Just take a 5-minute break out of your day. And it's so easy because it's so consistent, which is kind of something we lose as adults. You know, we think something's funny for a little while, and then we get done with it really quick.
Yeah,
kids, they'll latch on that thing for months.
Yes, yeah.
So easy to please, and what a great thing.
So another friend of the show, Melinda from Maryland. Hi, Melinda.
Ooh, East Coast. Hello.
Giving you a shout out. She finds joy by ministering to hurting people.
Oh, that's good.
Now, Melinda is a friend also of mine, and I have seen how she just serves her city in Maryland. And just amazing to see what she does. And the ways that she cultivates joy in her life, she is reading the Bible, praying, and intentionally reaching out to love others. And I think that's just so great.
I mean, I want to be friends with Melinda.
I know. I want her to intentionally reach out to love me.
Love me. Melinda, if you're listening, we need your help.
Yeah, there's something I love the word intentional. I love that she said that. Intentionally reaching out. I think that's, a neighbor of mine just bought a new dog. And it's easy to just say, okay, the neighbor has a new dog who might, sniff my kids too much or get too close. But I thought to myself, I told Alex, I'm like, hey, honey, let's buy like a dog treat and a little note and just say, hey, congratulations on a new dog. Like being intentional, just to kind of, I love that. A way to cultivate joy by being intentional.
And here's a question for you. Have you ever intentionally reached out to love someone, and no matter how bad it goes, I don't want to say bad, but like, you go to hang out with somebody and it's like a weird, awkward time, or you want to give them a gift and the transition just doesn't happen right. But have you ever come away feeling bad about that? No. I always feel good.
Yeah.
Anytime, whether it's volunteering to help somebody out at the church, or just reach out to somebody, or volunteering I used to volunteer at a homeless shelter downtown. Sometimes it was really weird and really awkward because I didn't know what I was doing and didn't know how best to help or talk or interact. It got easier over time.
Yeah.
But no matter how kind of awkward or weird I felt or made it for myself, I always felt great afterwards.
Yeah.
I never looked back and was like, that was a waste of time.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a great use of my time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And even if it doesn't make you happy, it plugs you into joy, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of another distinction.
Great suggestion there, Melinda. I love it. That's great. Good friend to the show, David in Colorado, says that food and sleep bring him joy. And I just resonate with that.
I love sleep.
Deep in my soul, I resonate. Food and sleep bring him joy. And I love this. You're going to love this, Cole. He cultivates joy in his life by sleeping in his bed.
Brilliant.
It's amazing. That's it.
He is like the Mozart of cultivating joy. He is the Oracle from the Matrix of cultivating joy.
He plugged in, and he's just
plugged into joy, uploaded, and transcended into this state of joy.
Exactly.
But I this is one I can totally get behind. I mean, I can get behind all of them, but sleeping is such a good thing for me. I love it.
We have Zara from Colorado. We
are so international. Maryland, Colorado, Washington.
I know. Oh, and we have one more. Actually, come to think of it, there's one that I missed.
Okay,
but we'll
start with Zara
first. So Zara says that she finds joy by helping somebody reach a goal. And she cultivates that joy by understanding that she can have joy in despite of difficulties in life. And I love that. I love that.
That's pretty good.
Future forward idea of what joy looks like.
Yeah. Helping
somebody else reach a goal is like, there's nothing like it. I mean, I really resonate with that a lot. That's just one of the things that I love to do, is to get to know somebody, find out what they love to do, and then help them kind of like achieve that. It's amazing. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. That kind of one-on-one counseling bit. Like, tell me more about that, and how do you think you can achieve that and get there?
Yeah. It's great.
Now, do I take any of my own advice or do coach myself through anything? No, but I love helping others do it as well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, and the one that I forgot. So there's one person I forgot, and please forgive me. Caroline in California. She loves to connect with her family. That's the way that she has joy in her life. And she cultivates that joy, with just spending time with family and doing things that she loves with them. So, Caroline, California, my sister-in-law, hey. I didn't forget about you.
That would have been bad.
That would have been bad.
Well, hey, that brings us to the end of our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. I think it went well.
Yeah, it went really well, I think. We solved a lot of problems.
Most of the world's problems.
We gained some new ideas. I think that we could say that.
Yes.
Pretty confidently.
Absolutely. We connected with some of you.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Which is a great win for us.
Yeah, we love this. This was a really good time. Thanks for joining us, you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us on this first episode. Please keep an eye out for future content. And please, we want to hear from you. We want to connect with you. So please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at SBX Radio. You can also see our website at sbxradio.com. And we just love to connect with you. Keep an eye out for those questions that we're going to be putting out there. One of the reasons we're doing this is to connect with you and to help kind of encourage and build community online. So we look forward to seeing you in future videos. And that's all for us. God bless you.
Signing off.
Talk to you later.